know how we do it. Ah. Motherfucker video. COVID update. First off, though, cap goes in this pocket. Motherfucker. Oh boy. All right, so I got my COVID shot. I got the first one. The next one's this week. Then a friend that I had met with like a couple weeks ago became sick and then tested positive for COVID like a week after that. And it was within the time frame that encouraged me to go get a COVID test. They swab up your nostrils and like maybe it took 10 minutes. Not like a person did my test looked like they're about 12. That's the thing about once you start getting into your 50s and I imagine beyond, young people who have an especially young look. If you're young, if you're 21 and you look young, like maybe someone's like I'm definitely carding you. What are you, like 19? Like, no, I'm 21, like a couple years off. Like from my perspective, more like 12. You look like 12. You look like you're 12. That's okay though. I think that one of the other things that took place, other than like being COVID free, got my second shot coming up, is boy, hold on a second. Like I was allowed to take a lot of time off because of concerns about COVID, and when it first happened, I was scared, legitimately scared, and I think one of the things that scared me the most is they were doing studies showing that damage to the blood vessels, like throughout the entire body, and I saw that pop up over and over again, and they basically focused a lot on the lungs. And I'm like, well, if it's blood vessels all throughout your body, what about the effect on the brain? Because, for instance, I was watching Dr. Drew's recovery on his YouTube channel, and he was very kind of foggy for a couple months. Had trouble focusing, ran out of energy really quick, as you'd expect, and I just kept thinking but I wonder about the effect on his goddamn brain. Not that I got a lot to protect, but it's nice to have as much as you can. So, I know a lot of people through COVID did patio building things and home improvement, and cost of lumber is shot through the roof, and I didn't really do anything necessarily that I could point to that said with all the extra time I did this, that, the other thing. I just did little things that I could have done on a weekend. Not something that I'm like, oh, I got a couple months, why don't I turn my entire backyard into a garden. But something I did recently was there's a technique for finding out things in your life that have a greater impact upon you than because you tune stuff out a lot. You get used to things being a certain way. And so surprise, surprise, doing this technique was cleanliness and organization in my house is really bothers me way more than I thought it bothered me. My inability to see cobwebs and stuff like that on the ceiling was more a mental technique than it was an actual deficit of sight. It's like when you work in a busy restaurant, you get really good at walking through a crowd doing this as if like you're seeing if anyone needs help or needs coffee, but really you just need to get to the chef's table real fast. And people are waving, and like as they start to lift up their hand, you're like, you guide your eyes through the crowd in such a way that makes it look like you're attentive, but you just missed them. Oh, he or she didn't see me. Like I was doing that with dirt. So bought a mop and a bunch of different cleaning supplies, and just did the floors and with counters, and washed the bigger dishes that don't fit in my my little teeny washing machine now. I'm putting in storage. Put the bigger dishwasher that was in there taking up space doing nothing, put it in the garage, and started doing the same thing with the living room and the bathroom, just like scrubbing everything, using chemicals, using up scrub pads, just taking the time. And once I started seeing like a positive impact on how I feel, like when I walk into the living room, I'm like, yeah, when I walk into the kitchen right now, I'm like, whoa, it's looking good. It's like, it's getting close. So I don't know what's wrong with me. I've never really been a cleanliness guy. I've never been really an organizational type of guy. And obviously I've seen the negative impacts of that, and but never addressed it. And just recently I started addressing it, and like it feels good. Like it doesn't feel bad. You know, like when you have to like well, I got to, got to scrub out the toilet bowl. Like it feels good to have it look good. And when before it actually made me like, I felt bad about like, because once I start cleaning something, I start looking around, I see dirt everywhere. Just like one thing makes me feel worse. So I guess I was chipping away at it for a while, and then getting the mop was like, well, once you start mopping, then you start looking around for floor to mop, and then you don't want, once it's going, it's like the vacuum, once you start vacuuming, like you want to make sure you get everything. I really like my new dishwasher. It's a countertop dishwasher, and it does a really great job. I'm going to have to adapt to it, but I think I'm ready to adapt. It's the same thing with like bowls and plates and stuff like that. It's like, I only want a couple from now on, and I'll put the others, the matches, like you get the 4-bowl set. I think I just want 2 bowls, 2 bowls, 2 plates, and like, it just feels better. It just feels better. It's really starting to, the window in my kitchen is open. I'm like, why can I hear the rain so well? Because my fantastic windows. The people who owned this house before me bought super nice, expensive windows, and some of them had to be custom. And they were literally like, they had literally moved out, and I was moving in, and the windows were still being delivered. So nice. Because I would have put up with single paned old 1940s windows forever, really. It never would have occurred to me to spend thousands of dollars to replace the windows. Really didn't even occur to me to buy Windex until today. So I went for some Windex. I know you could do like water and vinegar and stuff like that, but sometimes like sometimes I think I'd rather spend more to remove a step and make something happen easily and just kind of get the ball rolling. The initial investment I find pays off. Left the doors to the man shed open. I gotta go close those. I gotta get that stuff out of there too. That's the other thing too, is like once you start cleaning an area, I started in the bathroom because it's the smallest area, just kind of like 9 minutes. It just kind of bumps out a little bit. Then it's like the hallway. And then like once you vacuum a room and then like run the mop around like some floors, like I didn't do any of the wood floors because I wasn't sure about that. And like I probably will, but I need to test it somewhere, I guess. Then I'm sorry, like getting the broom in places that I can't normally reach, or I sent away for like Swifters for getting up in here, because I walk into the man shed and like stuff touches my head, I know it's like spider webs hanging down there. So like taking a broom and doing this will just get stuff all over me. I want to like get a Swifter and swift this stuff out. Same thing within here. Fly trying to get out of the rain. Can't come in, sorry. I didn't know I owned this. It's almost empty too. Nature's Miracle. Oh, it's for the skunk stuff. I used a lot of it when Akila got sprayed by a skunk, I guess. Guess that's why I have that. As I said, I should use it on the carpets, but those carpets really just need to be tossed out. They're all my carpets are 5 years old, and they have been treated awfully. Awfully. Walk in with my muddy boots, don't even think about it at all. Could walk into my house with muddy boots, walk all over my carpets, walk into every room in the house, like flop down on my bed even with my boots on still, and they're muddy. Like I just don't think about it. I'm a savage. Well, the double side of the coin. I train myself not to see dirt because seeing how dirty it is and thinking about how much effort it's going to take to keep it clean bothers me. But on the other hand, I don't want to stress about stuff and worry about things. So I'm just like, whatever, like I'll vacuum it a bunch, and when it starts looking bad, after 5 years, I'll throw it out and get another rug. It'll be fine. Like I'd rather spend the money to buy another rug than spend years worrying about the goddamn rug. So healthy balance. I mean, if I took my boots off, if I cleaned things more often, it'd be less work, things would last longer, and would be less on my mind. Stopped raining. It looked like there was almost hail in that rain. It's crazy. All right, that's enough talk. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later.